I will explain how to actually use the SMART framework to set goals and give SMART goal examples in every area in the wheel of life. By the end of this video, you will have set and clearly defined goals that you will be able to start pursuing, or at the very least, understand how to do it. I've been setting and pursuing goals for the last 4 years. I've been through a lot of trial and error. This video is exactly what I hoped I would have found when I started. The video is designed for you to set your goals while you're watching it. But of course, you can also first watch the video to understand how to set goals and then re-watch it when you're ready to set yours. But don't wait so long. I think you're going to be surprised of how fun this process actually is. Okay, let's start. When I set goals, I use pen and paper. There's really something to this mind to handwriting connection that I feel when self-reflecting, as opposed to typing it out on a computer. I also remove all the distractions. For example, turn on the airplane mode on my phone. I find a quiet and peaceful place. Bonus points if that's a place where I usually have inspiration. And right before I start, I declutter my mind. One approach is just taking a deep breath. Do it with me. No, I'm serious. Just try it, okay? In through your nose and out through your mouth. One more. A little better, right? A little better. If that didn't work, I also sometimes do as many push-ups as I can or squats. Don't think you're too cool for this. It works. Try it out. Okay, hope you also did it with me. Don't think you're too cool, as I said. You're gonna feel a lot better. I thought you wanted to set goals. That's what we're here to do, right? But also feel free to just not write down anything and just memorize everything in your head. Pick up your phone anytime you get a notification. And also not having your mind be focused while you're planning the next couple of months of your life. The SMART framework is a way to make your goals personal and specific enough to make sure that you want to and could take action on pursuing them. So put your pen to paper as I guide you through the entire process of how to make your goal SMART, going through it letter by letter in the order in which I think it makes the most sense to set and define your goals, while also incorporating the science explained in the Goal Setting podcast by Andrew Huberman, who is an associate professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. Let's start with relevant, which is your why for pursuing the goal, and achievable, which considers if the goal is realistic. Choose only one goal, which is the most important for you to achieve within the next 3 months. And yes, only one, and yes, in the next 3 months. And you'll understand why if you continue watching. I know, it was a shocker for me too. The first time I set SMART goals, I set 24. And I failed miserably almost at every single one of them. When I said 15, I achieved mostly the easiest ones and didn't have time to achieve the most difficult, but also the most meaningful ones. When I said 10 and all of them were challenging and meaningful, I achieved only 2, which were also the easiest ones of them all. It's best to put aside all the other goals you have on your list and choose one that is meaningful, that is slightly beyond what you think you can do within the next 12 weeks. If you're really determined to set goals right now for the entire year, you can approximately already choose 4 goals, each for 12-week cycles. And when that next goal period comes, choose if that goal is the most relevant to you right then. It's always okay to prioritize a different goal. Our life circumstances change all the time. Think about it. You only have a couple of hours in the mornings and the evenings of your work days, and maybe a couple more in the weekends to work on something new. If you want to start a YouTube channel and post weekly videos, but you also want to read 1 book per week, if you try to do both, you'll probably fail at both. And that will demotivate you. If you want to start actively dating, but meanwhile also want to learn a new skill, then you probably won't have enough time to become significantly better at any of them. But don't worry, this doesn't mean that you throw away all your other habits and pursuits that don't require too much energy or time. You should still have that cold shower in the morning. Continue reading 10 to 30 minutes in the evenings. Spend the 10 or more minutes meditating. Still go out for daily walks. But understand that you might need to compromise them on certain days in your pursuit of this new goal. So since you can only realistically choose one goal, you should spend significant time thinking about what will bring you the most value and what is even realistically achievable for you. You need to have strong enough reasons for why you do it to serve as reminders when a goal pursuit becomes challenging. In my case, I want to work on growing my YouTube channel by uploading 6 videos within the next 12 weeks. So the first question I ask myself is, why even create YouTube videos in general? Honestly, I can't really go out through my day without the thought of wanting to make videos and publishing them nagging me. I've invested so many years watching YouTube videos that have helped me become the man I am today and trying to understand how to build a brand on YouTube that I just can't imagine not doing it. If I consistently provide enough value for you to want to continue watching me, that gives me a sense of purpose in life. And I would have a source of income which would allow me to do work that I find meaningful rather than just doing for the money. And even if I fail and no one is watching me, I at least improve my writing, public speaking, advertising, and time management skills. And I choose 6 videos in 12 weeks, which means bi-weekly videos, because with my current schedule and workflow, I'm only able to upload a video every 3 weeks. Publishing bi-weekly would force me to be more time efficient with my process of creating videos. And it's not obvious that I will be able to do it. Next is specific, which answers the question, which specific actions are associated to that goal? We're focusing on actions as verbs because it's important that your goals are within your control. Be happier, be healthier are generally good things to pursue. But how can you actually define when you've become happier or healthier and are taking the actions to pursue them? Financial and physical goals are typically the easiest to quantify. X amount of money saved, X repetitions with X weight. However, most goals are harder to quantify.
If you are picking a goal that is not easily quantifiable, the writing of a book, for instance. Now, most all experienced writers will tell you, don't wait for inspiration. Set a period of time each day that you're going to write and write X number of words or for X amount of time each day, or perhaps even just 3 days a week. They may do it for time, they may do it for words, but they are writing during that time. They are not waiting for inspiration to land on them. They're not trying to get optimally caffeinated, and perhaps they didn't even sleep that well the night before.
In my case, if I want to grow on YouTube, I can only partially influence how many people watch my videos. So subscriber and view count as goals are bad goals. I am much more in control of how many videos I upload. Although a video usually takes me at least 20 hours to make and life might happen. So I'm also going to focus on the number of hours I spend creating videos in addition to the number of published ones. So the specific part of my goal will be publishing 6 regular videos because shorts also exist, and spending at least X hours per week on research, thumbnails, titles, scripting, recording, editing, or publishing on specific days of the week for X number of hours. We will replace the X with the number in the next section. Really focus on when your goal or action is considered completed. Imagine your goal as a destination on the map. Being specific means knowing the exact address, not just the city. There is a difference between saying I want to travel to Paris and I want to travel to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. I mean, what do you want to do? Just check out the airport and yeah, goal achieved. Cool. Be specific. Next part of your goal is measurable, which focuses on how the progress of your goal will be measured, and time bound, which focuses on when you will do it. Remember when I said you should pursue one goal at a time and each for 3 months? Well, chances are, if you have a somewhat typical schedule, 12 weeks is perfect for you. And yes, less than 12 weeks is also fine. In 2023, I set a goal of publishing 48 videos in those 12 months. And if you take a look at my channel, you'll see how that went. I had the most motivation in the first 2 months of the year and the last 2, but I fell short in the middle of it. So because I was pressured by university and work responsibilities, I failed at this goal, even though it was constantly at the back of my mind. I found out from a podcast with Maya Shankar that I encountered the middle problem, whose principle is that the motivation is the highest at the beginning of the goal and when the end is perceived to be near, while it is typically lower at the middle of the goal pursuit, which also might cause higher failure rates during it. Setting goals for shorter periods of time will help counter the middle problem. Think of it as setting a timer for a race. Having a shorter goal period adds a sense of urgency and motivates you to focus. Similar to knowing you have to complete a 5-kilometer race in an hour, as opposed to just starting running with the only goal being to run 400 kilometers in 12 months. So to make your goal time-bound, write the answers to these following questions. How long do you think it will take to achieve your goal? This can be 12 weeks or less. For my goal, it's 12. How many hours per week will you work on your goal? For me, since it takes at least 20 hours to make a video, I will allocate at least 10 hours per week. Which days of the week will you work on your goal? I'm going to open my calendar to answer this question. I've laid out all the obligations that I have, which is school, lectures, and work. Now I'll include the goals that I've pursued in the past, and now they just become part of my everyday life. So when it comes to time that I can allocate towards pursuing my goals is in the morning, say some breathing space here, some breathing space after that. So this is what we're going to focus on. I have approximately almost 2 hours to work on this. I have this evening free, right? So I'm going to also allocate this time. And I'm filling up everything, as you'll understand in a second why I do it. Friday. Put the entire day for this. I believe that these 3 lectures will be pretty intensive. So after that, I won't be as productive. I'm just gonna take this day off, allocate the same amount of time on this day. Okay, so I've mapped out all the possible time frames when I could work on this. And the final question, how much time do you think you're going to spend pursuing that goal on each of those days. What I'm going to do now is realistically schedule for each week the same time frame to work on it. So let's say on Monday I actually won't decide to do it in the morning, and I'll probably do it in the evening. 2 hours here on a Friday, and then on Saturday, 2 hours, I'll have a meal, 4 more after that. Now is the interesting part. How do you measure this? How do you keep track of it? Okay, so let's imagine it's Monday. We go about our day completing all these things. And when it comes to creating videos, maybe instead of 4, we start at 4:30. Maybe we work not for 2 hours, for 3. And then we just go about our days. And on Friday, I for some reason pushed lunch further and worked a little longer. I didn't stop there. I even edited until I went to bed. Then what happened on Saturday is that I didn't actually edit videos. So I'm gonna mark it as red. This is like the dramatic way to show myself that I didn't follow through. But then again, I compensated for the 10 hours in that week, the days before. Later on, you'll be able to look back on the following weeks to come at which days you actually did what you're supposed to do. And that's how you keep track of the time you spent on those goals. Congratulations, you've learned how to set SMART goals, and hopefully you've set your SMART goal together with me. My goal is publishing 6 regular Davis Hendrickson YouTube videos in the next 12 weeks by creating videos, which includes research, thumbnail, title, scripting, recording, editing, publishing, at least 10 hours per week, 2 hours on Monday and Friday, and a total of 6 hours on the weekend. This goal is SMART because it is specific. The goal is achieved when 6 regular videos are published, and day-to-day actions are considered completed when at least 2 hours on Monday and Friday, and 6 hours in total on the weekends are spent pursuing it. It's measurable because every video published is visible on my YouTube channel. And when it comes to the time spent on it, I have allocated time in my Google Calendar to work on the goal. If I work on it in different times than specified, I just adjust the time slots to extend them or shorten them to match the actual time spent, or mark it as red if I skip it that day. This way I will be able to see how much effort I'm actually putting in pursuing that goal every week. It's achievable because right now I'm able to publish 3 videos per week. So bi-weekly would require time efficiency in my workflow. It's not obvious that I'll be able to do it, but it's possible. It's relevant because I can build a brand and a source of income to do work I find meaningful and not one that I'm forced to do for money. It's time-bound because I will do it for 12 weeks, at least 10 hours per day, 2 hours on Monday and Friday, and a total of 6 hours on the weekend. So chances are that most of you have a goal that's different from creating YouTube videos. So I will provide a SMART goal example in every single area in the Wheel of Life. Health and fitness. Lose 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms in the next 3 months by exercising, which includes running, weightlifting, yoga for 4 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, for at least 45 minutes and not exceed 2,000 calories by using a nutrition tracking app. Specific. Lose 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms, exercise for 45 minutes, which includes running, weightlifting, and yoga, and not exceed 2,000 calories consumed. Reminder that these are examples, not advice. You might find similarities in your example, that's why it might be helpful. The measurable in this example is tracking weight loss, caloric intake, as well as exercise length and frequency. It's achievable because it's a realistic weight loss goal with a manageable exercise routine. It's relevant because you want to feel confident when you look in a mirror and you're tired of not having energy. Pun intended. It's time-bound because it's set for 3 months, 4 times per week, and at least 45 minutes per session. Personal growth. Practice meditation for 10 minutes every morning within 1 hour of waking up for the next 30 days. Specific. Practicing 10 minutes of meditation within 1 hour of waking up. Measurable. Tracking meditation sessions. It's achievable. Setting aside 10 minutes every morning to meditate is manageable. It's relevant. You might feel stress and anxiety on a daily basis and you want to reduce it. It's time-bound. You're committing to this practice for the next 30 days and for 10 minutes per session. Career. Passing a project management certification exam within the next 3 months, dedicating 7 hours per week to study, 1 hour on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and 4 hours on Saturday. Specific. Passing a project management certification exam. It's measurable. Passing the exam and dedicating 7 hours per week studying for it. It's achievable. Allocating 7 hours per week alongside with other responsibilities is realistic. It's relevant. It directly contributes to your career development, and it's time-bound. You plan to take the exam in 3 months and you're allocating 7 hours per week for it. I'm gonna turn on the lights. It's getting dark and I'm not done with helping you set your goals. That's better. Finance. Save $900 for an emergency fund in the next 3 months by setting aside $300 per month. It's specific. Saving $900 for an emergency fund, it's measurable. Monthly savings of $300. It's achievable. It might be a realistic amount to save each month, depending on your income level. It's relevant. Improves your financial security, which might reduce your day-to-day stress. It's time-bound. 3 months. Friends and family. Organizing a family activity bi-weekly for the next 3 months by allocating 2 hours every Monday to plan for it. Specific, organizing a family activity bi-weekly. Measurable, holding an activity every 2 weeks and scheduling 2 hours on Monday for it. It's achievable. It's a feasible frequency for family gatherings. It's relevant. Your family is important to you, so you want to spend more time with them. It's time-bound. For the next 3 months, 2 hours on Monday. Romance. Planning a special date night monthly for the next 3 months by planning for it 2 hours every Thursday. It's specific. Monthly date nights and scheduling 2 hours on Monday to plan for it. Measurable. 1 date night each month. Achievable. Monthly frequency is manageable. Relevant. Spices up the romantic relationship. Time-bound. For the next 3 months, 2 hours on that 1 day of the week. Fun and recreation. Complete 1 painting per week for the next 3 months by painting for 1 hour every Tuesday and Thursday, and for 2 hours on Saturday evening after 6 p.m. Specific, complete 1 painting within those specified hours. Measurable, completing 1 painting per week. Achievable, 1 painting per week is realistic, although probably not a masterpiece. It's relevant. It contributes to personal enjoyment and relaxation. Time-bound. 3 months, 1 or 2 hours on those specific days. Spiritual. Journaling my thoughts and reflections for 20 minutes every evening before bedtime for the next 60 days. Specific. Journaling for spiritual reflection for 20 minutes daily. Measurable. Keeping track of daily journaling sessions. Achievable. Setting aside 20 minutes each evening is manageable. Relevant. Enhances spiritual awareness and personal reflection. Time-bound. Committing to this practice for 60 days, 20 minutes per session. If this video was helpful to you, then my only ask is to press the like button and leave a comment about your experience setting goals, or let me know what you want to see next, so this video could reach more people and help them finally start setting and pursuing their goals.